Good day, you welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Tinade Salami. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atairu Jega, has restated his commitment to carrying out free and fair elections in this month's general elections. Speaking at a meeting in Abuja Wednesday with the 37 resident electoral commissioners, he urged the commissioners to be more focused in order to deliver the best result at the forthcoming elections. The meeting was aimed at reviewing preparations for the polls, as Professor Jega said the Commission would examine the gaps and other preparations needed to be done in the next few weeks. He appealed to Nigerians to team up with INEC to ensure credible election, saying all Nigerians have a role to play in ensuring that the conduct of elections that will be generally acceptable. One of Nigeria's opposition parties, Alliance for Democracy AD, has expelled its presidential candidate in the March 28 presidential election. Rafiu Salawu, in his place, the party has endorsed and adopted President Goodluck Jonathan as a ruling People Democratic Party as its presidential candidate. Salawu was expelled for alleged anti-party activities. National Chairman of AD, Mojisolu Akinfenwa, made the announcement after the party's emergency meeting in Lagos.
Having examined all the presidential candidates from all the political parties, our challenge boiled down to whether we shall endorse the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress, APC, General Muhammad Buhari, or that of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. After a careful deliberation and for the reasons set forth below, it is with profound sense of duty that we announce our endorsement of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. GCFR and presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the March 28, 2015 presidential election. Henceforth, our party machinery and structures all across Nigeria are available to work for its victory, and we urge all our members, supporters, and Nigerians to vote for him in the upcoming presidential poll.
Now, the Alliance for Democracy used to be Nigeria's main opposition party, but lost its political influence after many high-profile members left the party following a protracted internal crisis. Now, here is the reason given by the national chairman of the party for endorsing President Jonathan.
Within 4 years, Jonathan has achieved more than what previous leaders put together ever achieved. He has accommodated all tribes. He doesn't care whether you are Yoruba or you are Igbo or you are Hausa. He has paid special attention to our discrepant infrastructures, building new airports across the nation, over 2,500 kilometer federal roads, 10 new power plants that have improved electricity generation from paltry 2,500 megawatts to 4,500. He did not stop there. He also widened educational opportunities to the youths by building 12 new functional universities across the geopolitical zones and introduced innovative programs like Shopee and UWin to create employment for the youth. In spite of Boko Haram menace, he has held the nation together and fostered economic policies that has attracted over $20 billion in direct foreign investment and turned our economy to the largest in Africa.
The AD chairman did not stop. He took a sweep at the presidential candidate of the Nigeria's main opposition, All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari. Here is what he said about the APC candidates.
We are alarmed at the speed at which Buhari's quest to become president of Nigeria has almost turned from extremism to fanaticism to the extent that when he contested in 2011 and Nigerians rejected him, he instigated his supporters to violence that ultimately led to the destruction of billions of naira worth of properties and loss of thousands of innocent lives. In fact, some people believe today that Buhari's violent message to his supporters then somehow encouraged the resurgence of Boko Haram. Otherwise, how can he promise us that he will end Boko Haram in a week if elected president, if he does not know who they are and where they are? For him to sit idly now by all these years and allow more than 20,000 Nigerians to die and billions worth of properties destroyed before assisting to quell the violence is a disservice to the very Nigerians he once led and still wants to lead. We can neither reconcile nor accept these contradictions. Let me digress a little. In advanced countries, in civilized societies, all hands will be on deck whenever there is a resurgence or terrorism of this nature. They will not play politics with it. I expected Buhari to call Jonathan and said, this must stop. This is how it should stop. He joins them and they stop it. That is what is done in civilized countries.
A group of Igbo indigents in Lagos have given their support to APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari and the party's governorship candidate in Lagos, Akinwumi Ambode. Spokesperson of the group, Joe Igokwe, called on all Igbo people residing in Lagos, doing business in Lagos, to vote for both candidates and the party in the forthcoming elections. He said the Igbo indigents in the state would stage a public march on Saturday to drum up support for the All Progressives Congress.
We must come out en masse to support Buhari as a national change agent that will rescue Nigeria from corruption and bad governance. And Ambode as the man competent to continue the great works that have benefited Igbo in Lagos. If Lagos is the second home for Igbo, please come out and embrace Ambode. If Lagos has provided security for you and your families and businesses, please come out and encourage APC and Akinwumi Ambode. If Lagos has been fair to Igbo since 1967 when the state was created, Igbo in Lagos must show love to Lagos. If Lagos has catered for your kids, their schooling, their work, their respective vocations, irrespective of the fact that they are Igbo, please come out and support Ambode and APC. We want Igbo to massively cast their votes for APC on March 28th and April 11th. Let Igbo come out in great number on March 11th and affirm that we are not part of the plot to conquer and unleash Lagos, but that we stand solidly on a mutual and beneficial relationship with the Yoruba in Lagos, and we ally with them in the coming general elections.
Spokesperson of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Garba Shehu, has hit at the PDP and its presidential candidate, President Goodluck Jonathan, has failing to deliver on all the promises they made to the electorate 4 years ago. Addressing a press conference in Abuja, Shehu said Nigerians should critically analyze the various achievements being bandied by the president, and they would find out they are all failures.
We have a message here for our brothers and sisters in the southeast and the south-south, where it is said that the president has the greatest electoral strength. These people are just being deceived by a government that lacks commitment to them. And I will just cite one or two examples. Talking about the east-west highway, that highway perhaps could be one of the most important roads that this country could ever have. Not only does the road link the east and the south, the east and the west, but that it has such economic and cultural significance. that it cannot be simply ignored by any serious-minded administration. That road was awarded going back to 2006 by General Obasanjo, budgeted in 2007 at the cost of 224 billion. As I speak to you today, perhaps the East-West Highway will enter the Guinness Book of Records as the world's most expensive road project, and it is still work in progress. By last year, 2013, the cost had risen to 633 billion naira. This is the kind of waste General Buhari is talking about. Today, in the budget that is under consideration by the National Assembly, they require 70 billion. Money that probably will go into pockets of leaders, because that road perhaps will not get the attention that it requires. And talking about the Southeast, consider the second Niger bridge, on which the president anchored his the launch of his campaign in the region back in 2011. It is still the white elephant. Except, of course, that in the last few days, I think some movement has begun, not more motion. So therefore, we want to say to our brothers and sisters, not only in the East, in the South, in all parts of the country, to do one thing for themselves and for the nation. When Mr. President comes to you asking for the vote, ask him, what have you delivered? This power project in Aba, you have completed it 2 years back. Why is there no firing? Why are the roads in that region among the country's worst? I think that it is for people to ponder upon all of these things before they decide who they will support. This country faces a critical election, an election that many call a make or mar election. As far as, especially the economy of the country is concerned, it is not a matter to toy with, and it is for Nigerians to make the right choices.
In a bid to quell the recent allegations peddled by the ruling People's Democratic Party, the All Progressives Congress (APC) has debunked the myth that its candidate General Muhammadu Buhari will spend only one term in office if elected president of the country. Alhaji Lai Muhammad, spokesperson of the APC, in a statement issued in Lagos on Tuesday, said such myths were the creation of the ruling PDP seeking to play a section of the country against another. He said that the APC will not abridge the right of General Muhammadu Buhari to spend the constitutionally guaranteed 2 terms as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria if elected in the March 28 poll, saying that no conditionality whatsoever was attached to General Muhammadu Buhari. The Nigerian Senate Wednesday confirmed Mosul Obanikoro as a minister. Obanikoro's appointment was approved at the Senate's plenary sitting, where the lawmakers allowed Obanikoro to take a bow and go without answering questions, a privilege reserved for former federal lawmakers. In protest, senators of Nigeria's main opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, staged a walkout during session. The opposition senators vowed to stop Obanikoro's reappointment as a minister. Obanikoro's confirmation comes after repeated deferment and amid calls from numerous Nigerians that his ministerial nomination should not be approved due to his controversial role in the election in Ekiti State. The former Minister of State for Defense had been recently named in a leaked tape as a principal actor in the state governorship election rigging in 2014. sparking national outrage. Just last week, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, kicked against the nomination of Senator Mosul Obanikoro as a minister. A security expert has said the recent pledge of allegiance by religious terrorist group Boko Haram to the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria was a desperate cry for help by Boko Haram in order to avoid imminent defeat by Nigerian troops. On Ekomo Wednesday, urged the Nigerian military to intensify the counter-offensive operations and completely rout the terrorists and ensure the territorial integrity of Nigeria. It said that Boko Haram was hoping to scare the Nigerian military by invoking the specter of ISIS, adding that another goal of declaring allegiance to ISIS was to engage in recruitment of jihadi fighters. Over the past few weeks, Nigerian soldiers, in collaboration with Chadian and Nigerian troops, have intensified its operations against Boko Haram. The countries have joined Nigeria to form a military coalition which has recaptured several towns and villages in recent weeks. We'll take a short break right now. When we come back, News Now continues.
Honorable Victor Osei is a great man. Before you can find somebody, a politician, who bring out of his money to be sponsoring people with disability. And let me tell you, it's going to be hard because we know what our politicians use their money for.
Victor Osei is like a Madiba to wheelchair basketball Nigeria. So he has really done a lot of things and development, and it makes us have a lot of international players. He has sponsored us to some international tournaments, and he has used his life to contribute immensely for the disability persons, and we are seeing the outputs because a lot of people from the lead to the end from his tournaments is changing their lifestyles.
Since Victor Osei came in, it's been one success story and the other. I couldn't imagine that somebody of that caliber could have a soft spot. Oh, I don't know, he has a large heart.
Welcome back. Crude oil slipped to a one-month low below $56 per barrel Wednesday before steadying as a rally in the U.S. dollar and global oversupply weighed. The U.S. dollar hit a fresh 12-year high against the euro on Tuesday, trading at $1.0637 against a single currency. Still on Tuesday, crude futures had suffered heavy falls as a rebounding dollar pushed the market sharply lower. Crude prices lost some 60% of their value to about $40 between June and late January, owing to an oversupply in world markets. A weak global economy and the strong dollar. Prices have since rebounded following a slowdown in U.S. oil drilling activities, but analysts say volatility is likely to continue for some time. Still on crude oil, the Joint Task Force and the Niger Delta Operation Polo Shield says it has apprehended 28 suspects for oil theft. A spokesman for the JTF, Lieutenant Colonel Ado Issa, in a statement Wednesday said the troops arrested 25 of the suspects in 6 illegal distillation camps while carrying out illegal oil bunkeries and oil theft. He added that the JTF patrol arrested them along the Sector 1 area, which comprised of Ondo, Delta, and Edo State. Also discovered, according to Issa, were 22 pieces of 2,000-liter capacity plastic tanks and 162,200-liter capacity drums, all filled with substances suspected to be stolen crude. And on the foreign scene, Iraqi security officials say government forces have retaken a large part of northwestern Tikrit as they battle IS militants to recapture the city. Soldiers and Shia military men have reportedly raised the Iraqi flag at a hospital in the Qataziyah district, 2/3 of which is under their control. But they have so far not made much progress in Tikrit's south and west. The operation to retake the hometown of Saddam Hussein is the biggest offensive yet by the Iraqi government. Iran is helping to coordinate the 30,000 soldiers and military men involved who are not being supported by US-led coalition airstrikes. IS captured Tikrit last June after the Iraqi army collapsed in the face of a lightning advance by the group across northern and western Iraq. Islamic State militants have posted a new video online which appears to show a young boy shooting dead an Israeli Arab prisoner. The prisoner, identified as 19-year-old Muhammad Said Ismail Musalam, was accused by IS of being a spy, a claim denied by Israel and by his family. Said Musalam, the father of the teenager, says he had no ties with the Mossad, Israel's spy agency, and had in fact been recruited by ISIS. In his defense, the Islamic State militant said Musalam, an Israeli citizen of Palestinian descent, had posed as a foreign fighter when he joined the militants in Syria, when he later confessed to being a spy for Israel's Mossad. The 13-minute video purportedly showing Musalam's execution has not been independently verified. And on the world of sport, Nigerian polo athlete Hannah Babalola has a sight set on winning more medals internationally after she posted an impressive outing at the just concluded 2015 FASA International Athletics IPC Grand Prix. Babalola won 2 gold medals in the 100-meter and 200-meter T54 category and 2 silver medals in 400-meter and 800-meter at the season opening event, which had a record 490 athletes from 48 countries competing for the honor. The event is organized jointly by the Dubai Club for the Disabled and the Hamdan bin Mohammed Heritage Center under the patronage of Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of the Dubai Sports Council. Now, French authorities are investigating a crash in Argentina involving 2 helicopters in which 8 French nationals lost their lives. 3 popular French sports personalities, including 2 Argentine pilots, are among the dead. The helicopters were reported to be heading to a gorge in northwest Argentina for the filming of the TV reality show dropped for the French broadcaster TF1. TF1 says the show will be postponed and the rest of the crew is returning home. French President Francois Hollande reacted to the helicopter crash disaster, calling it a cause for immense sadness. One of the French sports personalities who died in the crash was Florent Arthur, 57, a skilled sailor who won the 1990 prominent solo Atlantic race. Another personality was Olympic swimmer Cameron Muffat, 25, who won 3 medals in 2012 London Olympics, and Olympic boxer Alexis Vastin, 28, a bronze medal winner at the 2008 Beijing Olympics in the light welterweight category. Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho said that there would certainly be a difference in Wednesday's decisive Champions League game against Paris Saint-Germain PSG compared to when they met the French side the previous season. Mourinho, who described the PSG as the most aggressive side his team have faced this season, said his team was tasked with overturning a 3-1 first-leg deficit. The Chelsea boss also confirmed Nemanja Matic would return to the side, noting that while the Blues had won both games in which the Serbian missed, he remains as important as ever to the balance and structure of the team. Nigeria's John Mikel Obi will, however, be out of the Champions League last 16th second leg with a knee injury. The first leg in Paris was drawn 1-1, meanwhile PSG players will wear black armbands for the game following the death of 8 French nationals, including 3 sportsmen and women in a helicopter crash in Argentina on Monday. And that ends the news on News Now on TV360. I'm Tinade Salami. Thanks for watching.